Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello, good evening. Anybody home? Hello. Seems like today actually nobody showed up so far. Huh. That's a new one. I'm guessing most of you are simply drop dead because of the heat, I hope. Or Twitch is failing to notify people in advance. Oh. Hello, Mr. General Bumkicker. Hello. So it's just Twitch doing its thing again and not showing up, showing all people in chat. So, Jerry actually stood ready to do today's show as usual, but OTT somehow kicked the bucket. The site is just not reacting to anything, and also he needs to wait for a delivery in the next half an hour or so. So we're going to do emergency plan number 1. Hello, Mr. Nomad. Emergency plan is Fighting Fantasy, Crystal of Storms. This is the one by Rihanna Pratchett. I've never played this game before. I'm not even sure if the rules have changed in the last 40 years that I played one of these. So we learn together now. Let's go down to the thingamajig. What do you call it? The desk. Hello, there's the desk. And add some lighting. That's almost too much, but I can't adjust that. We also need an adventurer's sheet. Something to scribble with. And potentially a food diet. Now let's go and look-see how character generation in this game works. How to fight. And before embarking on your own adventure, you must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. Use dice to determine your initial scores. Adventurer sheet, yeah, we have this here. On it, we'll find boxes for recording skill, stamina, and luck. You're advised either to record your scores sheet with pencil or make photocopies of sheet for future references. Let's go there. This will also keep me keep me straight because I usually cheat at these. Let's go and see. Initial skill. Great. So this is 7. Roll both dice, add 12 to stamina. Ooh. And luck. You got to be fucking kidding me. This is going to be a very interesting game, I think. Skill reflects your swordsmanship, fighting expertise. The higher the better. Stamina represents strength. The higher stamina, the longer you will survive. Luck is self-explanatory. Battles. First record. A creature skill and stamina. 4 scores. Each can give a book. Each time have an encounter. Sequence. That is. I think this is going to need rereading a lot. Roll by both dice for the creature. Add skills. Attack strength for yourself. Current skill score. Total is your attack strength. If your attack strength is higher than creature you have wounded is, proceed to step 4. And this is going to be very yeah. Let's see how this works. I might just take a note for later. So, Crystal of Storms. Let's see. To Mom and Dad, who showed me magic every day. How will you start your adventure? Well, we'll do it. The background. The Tempest children of Pangara, god of the wind, have long reigned over the waters between Alansia and Kul. Many who sought to cross the perilous ocean of Tempest have lost their lives to the raging storms of the terrifying sea creatures that dwell there. But deep within Zephyrus, largest of all tempests, where the air is sweet and calm, lies the floating archipelago of Pangaria. The 5 islands of Cyrus, Altos, Cumulus, Incus, and Asperitas surround a 6th small island known as Nimbus. You were born yada yada yada. Do we need all this text? Potentially not. Let's go. Oh, and I might add myself some background music. Hold on. Because this is going to be very, very boring otherwise for me. Where's my mix? There's no mix. This is weird. Okay. The explosion has knocked the wind out of you. There's only one thing you can do to save yourself as you tumble through the howling air. You manage to struggle into Halleck's hovers, and the wings unfold with a soft twuck, twuck, twuck sound. Your fall ceases as the hover slows your descent and holds you aloft. Your relief turns to fear as you look up and realize that now it's Nimbus which is falling straight towards you. Using your shoulder muscles to operate the hovers, you manage to steer yourself out of the path of the falling island as it hurtles past, tossing you around like a feather on the breeze. You gain control only to see Nimbus crashing into sea far below. You watch in horror as the island begins to sink beneath the waves. You become aware of an unsettling humming sound and the wings begin to shudder. The crystal that powers the hovers must be running out of charge. There's just enough power left to fly you to the safety of your home island. If your home island is Cyrus, the farming island, turn to 84. If your home island is Altos, the water island, turn to 196. If your home island is Cumulus, the island of trade, turn to 298. I say we go to Cumulus. Take note. 298. You don't see Cumulus at first, but you smell it. The scents thrift you up from the numerous stalls and vendors who trade their wares in the large markets that dominate the island. The soft, spicy smells of gingerbread biscuits and cinnamon milk pudding mingle with the pungent aroma of stink fruit and sizzling fish steaks. The smell of home brings a tear to your eye, and your mind drifts as you wonder if Cumulus is destined to suffer the same fate as Nimbus. You can already see the air around where the other island once was crackling with a strange elemental energy. Whatever you brought the island down must have been incredibly powerful. A humming jolts from your musings, and the hovers begin to shudder. You tense your shoulders and move your upper body as you try to glide yourself down towards a safe and soft landing before the storm crystal's energy run out. Test your skill. Okay, skill testing. How is skill testing? Testing skill and stamina. Roll 2 dice, equal or less, you have succeeded. Oh, this is going to go grand. Yeah, of course it's not. If unsuccessful, turn to 138. Who would have expected anything else? You aim for a soft-looking haystack. Unfortunately, you completely miss your target. Your hover's wings fold up and you are deposited into a nearby rubbish heap, where you hit your head on a piece of broken pot. Lose 3 stamina points. If Cumulus is your home isle, turn to 57. 57. Hello, Dutch. No, not dead yet. For some reason, the stamina is the max value you can have, but skill and luck are the lowest possible that you can have. So, God knows how that will end. The usual bustling sounds of the markets are more muted today. You don't see as many stalls open and the crowds are sparser than normal. The explosion on Nimbus has driven many indoors, but the stall holders are hardier and most won't run and hide whilst there's even one person to make money from. If you can charge up Halex hovers, you will have a valuable piece of equipment at your disposal. You also realize you've managed to keep hold of his coin bag. He won't mind you borrowing it in the line of duty. Add 10 gold pieces to your purse. 10. You check your waist. Your trusty short sword is still there, thankfully, and you get the feeling you might need it. Short sword. Well, ain't you a little junior for those hovers? It's Daff, a goblin friend of yours who works in the local bakery. You vainly try to explain what happened on Nimbus and why you have Halex hovers, but it's still all confusing, so you have no answers to his question yet. Sounds like you've had quite a morning, says Daff sympathetically, passing you a ginger cream horn, which makes you feel just a little bit better. Restore 1 stamina point. We heard the explosion, continues Daff. Never seen the market fell so quiet. Some folks hid. Not blaming with all the extra elemental energy wafting around here. Most of the stalls stayed open. You know the types around here. They wouldn't budge unless the ground fell out from under them. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. You resolutely tell Daff that you're going to investigate what happened. Probably best if I join you while you're on Cumulus, says the little goblin. I've done all my chores, and you look like you could use the company. Plus, I've got a few moves if anything gets a bit fancy. Oh, and here, this might come in handy. He tosses you a healing potion. As long as Dav is traveling with you, you may add 2 points when calculating your attack strength. You may increase any damage caused by 1 point, and you may reduce any damage you suffer in battle by 1 point. Make note of this on your adventure sheet. Dav says, says Dav, readying himself for adventure. There's a goblin I know called Hazy, who lives on this far side of the market. He used to work at the Citadel on Nimbus. He might know something. He could always go and talk to Methydus, the Stormborn who works over at the mill. He might know a thing or two about the elemental energy that got released. There are rumors that the explosion has stirred up some nasty critters. Duff taps a small dagger in his belt. Good job you got old Duff with you, but maybe you want to tool up first or make some coin. If you want to head for Hazi's place on the far side of the market, turn to 351. If you want to head for the mill, 261. If you want to check out the market stalls, turn to 258. If you want to engage in a game of chance in the loop of increasing your gold, 304. Let's not do that. Let's go to the market stalls. Hello, Mr. Wonky Goblin. Good evening. You browse a nearby stall. You can buy some bread for 1 gold piece, which will restore 2 stamina, or an apple pie for 2 gold, which will restore 3 stamina, or a calming potion for 2 points, the gold pieces. Choose what you want to buy, deduct the appropriate number of gold points if you want to head. Yeah, so 8, I'm going to go for the calming potion. Because it's not saying what it does. I'm pretty sure it's going to be handy later on. Let's go to the mill. 261. Hello, Don Lee. Good evening. You make your way around the edge of the market, heading towards the mill. The ground begins to rumble beneath your feet. Market goers start sprinting for cover. Before you can ask what the fuss is about, the only shopkeeper left nearby shouts, "Run!" before quickly pulling down the wooden shutter on his shop with a loud clunk. If Duff is with you, turn to 399. If Duff is not with you, luckily Duff is with us. 399. Uh-oh, says Duff in response to the ground trembling beneath your feet. Something's on its way, and it's big. I smell a fight coming. He reaches into a small bag at his waist, tosses you a small bottle of purplish-colored liquid. Take this. it will give you a little extra oomph. You see the earth buckling and crackling, and something burrows through the soil towards you, sending market stalls flying. Hands shaking, you gulp down the liquid. A warm, tingly feeling washes through your body right down to the tips of your fingers. You feel your strength growing. Add 3 stamina to your initial, even if it takes above your initial level. Add 1 point when calculating your attack strength for this fight only. As the feeling surges through, a huge worm-like creature erupts from the ground. It seems to have no eyes, but it makes up for that with a number of glistening fangs it has in its huge, gaping mouth, which is heading straight for you. Give it hell, yells Daff. Shaihulut! Tunneler Beast. Skill 8, stamina 9. Now, we're at 10 skill. How does battle resolve in this? Yes, the one-eyed worm. I'm guessing that's basically what we're doing now. Roll both dice once for the creature. That's a 12. That's a 21. You have wounded the creature -2 points, minus 3 because Dave is around. So that's 6 points. You may look here to at various time. No, we won't bother with luck. Now let's creature attack. 13. 18. I win again. Creature attack. 12. 16. I win again. Hello, Mr. Zork. 299. Yeah, no, 399, I think it was. Yes. If you win, turn to 289. 289 it is. With an enormous shudder, the creature crashes to the ground. Slowly the market goes, returns, start poking the huge corpse. Nice work, officer. Do you think this can be roasted? Stewed, maybe. Worth a try. The stallholder cautiously raises his shutter. Well, I never. You got it. Here, take some dried stink fruit and silk cloth on the house. Silk cloth. 2 stink fruit. We keep on heading to the mill. Yeah, stink fruit. Not sure how that's going. The mill is quiet when you reach it. Perhaps the workers were sent home after the explosion. You look up at the windmill. There's no breeze, so the sails are still. There's a loud whooshing sound, and what looks like a mini cyclone emerges from the structure. Before you know it, you're flung to the ground. Lose 2 stamina. And find yourself being pulled across the ground towards the swirling mass. 104. This is Crystal of Storms by Oriana Pratchett, Mr. Wonky Goblin. The whirling mass lifts you into the air, higher and higher. Even if you had charge left in your hovers, they wouldn't help you in the midst of this chaotic wind. You struggle and flail against the invisible force, then suddenly you're falling. You expect to feel the crush of the cold, hard ground, but instead you're caught mid-air by ethereal arms. The figure floats to the ground and places you down safely. Sorry about that, says the figure. I had no idea anyone was out here, and the storms can be quite temperamental, especially at the moment. You're being addressed by a Stormborn, one of the intelligent wind spirits that create and harvest crystals within the storms that rage across the Sea of Tempests. The figure you rightly assume to be Mephidius waves his hands through the air like he's conducting an invisible orchestra, and the cyclone slows its whirling and glides towards the windmill. It spreads out over the sails, and they creak into life. How may I help you, officer? You tell Mephidius that you're looking into what happened to Nimbus. We Stormborn were very concerned by what happened, he says sadly. All of us who live and work in Pangaria felt it in every fiber of our beings. That means the amount of elemental energy released must have been immense. Many storm crystals must have been broken. Of course, we try to reach the Nimbus, but although we can pass safely through the storms that surround it, there's a warding spell around the island preventing Stormborn from entering. Someone clearly doesn't want us interfering. Write the code word bubble on your adventure sheet. If you have the storm crystal shard from Ceres, turn to 5. If you do not have the shard, turn to 205. Yes, I know there are actual dice there, but where's the fun in that? 205. Before you go, Mephistus, this name is irritating, passes you a small crystal. It looks like a blank version of the one you have in your hovers. You might need this. You seem like the type that gets themselves into trouble. There are a lot of nasty energies around you, and this will withdraw them from an infected creature just as long as it's not too far gone. Once an animal's being taken over entirely, the crystal won't work. One use only, I'm afraid. 1 point to your luck score. Where does that go? Meth shard. Sounds wrong, but again. If you want to look for Hazy on the other side of the market, and you haven't done so already, go to 351. If you want to find the local goblin flyer and head to one of the other islands, turn to 27. Now we go to 351. Can't adventure enough, can you? I must say, this book is better bound and made of a better paper for this kind of gaming than the ones I had in hands prior to this. They always felt like they would just fall apart. You continued through the main market. A few market-goers nervously ask you what's going on and if they are safe. You tell them that you're investigating matters and they should carefully continue their business as normal until they receive further information. Privately, you have no idea what that information is going to be or if anyone is safe, but there's no sense in creating more panic. You're walking along, taking in sights, sounds, and smells at the market, when you feel a light tugging at your belt. You turn to see a creature that looks like a cockroach the size of a dog skittering off with your coin bag in its mouth. No, it's not empty. 350. Why is a cockroach stealing my coin? Remove all gold pieces from the gold box. Grand. If Dav is with you, 141. Dav picks up a large purple tuber from a nearby stall and hurls it after the creature. The root vegetable strikes the cockroach shell, causing it to stagger briefly, shedding one gold piece from the bag. Add this back to your gold box. Unfortunately, this tuber strike was only enough to slow the creature down briefly. It readjusts its grip on your coin bag and skitters off. If you want to abandon your coin bag so you can continue on the far side of the market, if you are determined to get it back, do we want to follow the giant gold stealing beast, or do we continue on venturing? While chat decides on what to do, I'm going to open my bottle of drink and have a sip. Yeah, a giant cockroach. I want my money back. 307. This is absolutely not going to bite us in the ass. This is absolutely going to be fine. You can't let your coin back be taken by this thieving beast. You give chase. The cockroach dashes down an alleyway. You follow and come to a dead end. You look around to see where it could have scurried off to, and see a broken storm drain gate, which you might be able to squeeze through, and some steps leading up to the rooftop of some small ramshackle houses. If you want to try the storm drain, turn to 171 if you decide to head for the rooftops. Now, cockroaches always go where it's dark. 171. You squeeze your way into the storm drain and drop down into the sewer. The smells down here are horrible compared to those at the market above and make your eyes water. Lose 1 stamina. 19. As the stench starts to make you feel nauseous. You study the ground and see small tracks in what you hope is only mud. We will follow the tracks. Of course, we came this far. We are not giving up that easily. Holding your nose, you continue into the sewers, following the creature's tracks. Turning a corner, you see a giant insect just about to climb up a small pipe with your coin back in its mandibles. Quickly whip out your short sword and hurl it at the retreating bug. Test your skill. Grand. This is totally not going totally fuck. Please. Yeah, I'm successful. Uh-oh. Your sword falls short and hits the pipe, knocking the fleeing giant cockroach out in the mud. It hisses at you and then makes a strange, high-pitched shrieking sound. Another 2 cockroaches promptly emerge from the pipe, joining in. The giant cockroaches advance at you hungrily. You must fight the 3 overgrown insects at the same time. If you win, turn to... Oh, God. So, we have 5, 5, 6, 5, and 6, 6. First one. Oh, and we're not at 10 anymore because that was only for the last fight. 12. 13. I do make 2 damage. No, 3. That's next one. 9 against. Oh, that's totally mine. Third cockroach. 12. 12. What happens when it's equal? Nothing. Oh, grand. Next round. First cockroach. 12 again. I win. 1. Second cockroach. Uh-oh, 16. Also 16. Nothing happened. Third cockroach. 15. And now I get some on my... First cockroach again. Oh god. 11, 14. That's more than 14. Cockroach down. Second cockroach. You got to be kidding me. 16. Yeah. No luck. Third cockroach. Shit. 13. Yeah. So 13. I'm going to use that healing potion. Cockroach number 2 has a 12. I go higher. I win. Cockroach number 3. 10. I go higher. Oh. Cockroach number 2. 13? Question mark? Yes. I go higher. dead. Oh, I completely not 2. This is 4. Oh god. 16. Yeah, this is not going great. 8. That's more than 8. Now we're down to 2. 11s. And 12. And Rock Coach is dead. Jeebus Christ. That went bad. Let's see if there's any loot to be had. Once the creatures are slain, you retrieve your gold coin your coin bag. Glittering from inside, the pipe draws your eye. Reaching your hand carefully inside, you find 2 gold pieces. Do I regain all my coins now? I'd say so, yes. So we're back at 10. Uh, 336. Let's see, where does this take us? Probably into something very badly. You continue your journey across the market, this time being more worried about who or what might be following you. You've not been traveling for long when a young goblin comes running up to you with an anxious look at his face. I heard you were looking for me, he pants and struggling to catch his breath. This is definitely no Stormborn, so it must be Hazy. Do you have any news about him? Did he send you? Confused, you ask, who's he referring to? Vizig the Elder Technomancer, of course. You mean he hasn't sent word? You shake your head and explain that you're investigating what happened on Nimbus, and were told you should speak to him. Hazy sinks down on a crate, looking miserable. I used to be an apprentice of his before he retired. He always comes here to have breakfast, but today he missed it. With no explanation. If you're heading to Asperitas, do you think you could check on his house? I don't have enough coin for the flyer ride. You assure him that you will. Thank you, officer, says Hazy, looking a bit more relieved. You ask him whether he has any idea what might have happened on Nimbus. I've not worked there for a few years, but I still can understand what could have caused the crash. Nimbus, like all of our islands, is held up by large storm crystals. Unlike the crystals in our hovers, the island's crystals are strong enough to hold their energy perpetually. If the crystals failed, then something caused that to happen. I fear it was no accident. Add the code word Hazy to your adventure sheet. Bubble Hazy. If you have the storm crystal shard from Ceres, do we have that? Nope. So we go to 185. Where's 185? Hello, 185. Of course, that's not how grots speak, but I'm not going to try to mimic any voices here. It's terrible as it is enough. You reassure Hazy that you will check on Vizig on Asperitas, and the goblin thanks you. He reaches into his robe and passes you a couple of items. A piece of dried cuttlefish and an ornate dagger. Cuttlefish plus 2 stamina. Ornate dagger. You notice a sign pointing to the way of the local goblin flyer. If you want to go to the mill and haven't done so already, but we were there. Now we go to the flyer, and we fly again, and hopefully not drop again from the sky. See, dropping from the sky seems to be a theme in this book. You follow the signs towards where you would expect to find Cumulus Goblin Flyer, but as you near the dock, you can see no sign of it. At first you think it must have been traversing one of its route, but then you hear a plaintive, "Help! Help! Anyone? Anyone?" You peer over the edge of the dock and see the goblin pilot hanging off the edge of some rocks below. The goblin looks very relieved to see you. Could you possibly give me a hand here? You pull the goblin to safety, and she introduces herself as Daxa. That Nimbus explosion completely took out my flyer, she explains. Blew it right down into the ocean. Luckily, I managed to jump out when I did, or I'd probably be in some great white shark's belly by now. You explain that we're hoping to visit the other islands. Well, until I get another flyer, you won't be able to get to Incus or Asperitas, Daxa says sadly. But I'll charge your hovers for free, and that will get you to Cyrus or Altus. You can take the flyers from there. She points to a long bridge nearby, half shrouded in clouds. Normally, you could take the sky bridge to Cyrus, but it's been closed due to some unnatural disturbances around the bridge at this end, Daxa explains. Of course, if you can deal with that, I'd be happy to reopen it, especially as my best aeronaut's helmet got thrown there during the crash. If you can make the bridge safe again, the helmet is yours. If you want Daxa to charge your flyers for free, fly to Alto's turn 2. If you want to charge your free and go to Cirrus, Skybridge. Skybridge. We want that loot. 233. What monster will await us there? You pluck the courage and decide to try the Skybridge. If you have Death with you, he will stay on Cumulus and you will lose your attack and damage bonus. Oh, see, I missed the attack and damage bonuses just now. Okay. You step onto the bridge and it sways gently beneath you. Somehow it feels less safe than wearing the hovers. You take a deep breath and, putting one foot in front of the other, begin to cross. You notice that although you can see the end of the bridge on Cyrus, part of the bridge near Cumulus is shrouded in cloud. As you approach, you can hear a hissing sound coming from within. Something long and scaly skies in and out the mist. Will you continue or return? Of course we go in and go full hog. And probably die. You decide to confront whatever lurks in the mist. As you get closer, the mist begins to undulate as the hissing creature comes closer. It rises out of the fog. Lightning rolls off its long, scaly body. It's a lightning serpent, a rare and extremely dangerous beast. And now you're going to have to deal with it. Oh, fucking fuck. If Lightning Serpent makes a successful strike, roll 1 die. If you roll 4 to 6, it does double damage. Oh, fuck. If you hit it using a metal weapon, roll 1 die. If you roll 5 or 6, you suffer 2 stamina points because you were electrocuted. Great. Great. This is completely not going bad. Let's see. 17 against less than 17. But it's just ordinary damage. 16. 14. Yeah, that's not great. I'm going to nibble on some cuttlefish, so the stamina stays. 16. This is not going well, is it? Uh-oh. So we're now down to 9. 13. 11. I'm going to eat 1 stim. I think this was a mistake. 15. 13. 14. Yeah. I'm going to eat another stim fruit. How? Shit. Well, I can't beat that, so yeah. We're at 5 stamina. for those who take count. 18, 16, 3, 17. That's not enough. And one more. 15. 12. That's it. We're dead. Whoop, 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 whoop. What happens when we die? Da, 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 da. Yeah. uh, no, I didn't forget to use luck. As you can see, my initial luck value is 7. So, yeah, no point in going for that. Fuck. No, they haven't made them any easier at all. Wait, that's not. That's a bummer. I thought I might survive a tiny bit longer than that. Yeah, in theory, you're correct, but you've seen me dice rolling, and not having luck, so having bad luck would be a bad thing to have. Yeah, but since we didn't manage to finish this adventure, there's always next time. We can do this again and hopefully be more successful with that. I'm curious, has OTT by now recovered or is it still down? Nope. OTT still not working. You should have used D10s. I think that would have counted as cheating, would it not? So, this here book, which I got in the post today, was a part of a little selection I got from a used bookstore. There's also, for the next time, The Forest of Doom and City of Thieves. So we can have choices for next time. I now remember why I cheated with these back in the day so much, because I never was good at rolling dice. Yeah, choose your death. But to be fair, I usually drop to my demise way quicker than this, so good on me, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, this all hasn't been going too well, but yeah, this is all on a very short notice. As I said in the intro, Jerry technically would have been here, but OTT is completely bonkered, so we can't even go and look at anything on that site currently. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. If somebody forgot to renew any certificates, or maybe somebody's trying to upgrade stuff and everything went terribly wrong. Yeah, I still have some, but I used to go to the local library and get them from there because there were so many, and it just was financially unviable um, to buy them all. So I just lent them from the library and then played them until I got bored of them. uh, yeah, it's happens. I forgot the slipper of death. What's the slipper of death? Do I know what the slipper of death is? I don't think I ever heard that term before. Someone unplugged the server to plug in a desk fan. You know, it's those kind of stories that are sadly very true sometimes. But no, I think they're just. I'm guessing some background work had to be done and something went horribly wrong. The weirdest part is, at times, Cloudflare posts a cached version. Sometimes I just get a unknown error. But if you go and check, is it down websites, it shows up as up, which is odd. So who knows? Maybe the load balancing is completely screwed and whatever happened. Your mileage may vary, and hopefully tomorrow the site will be back. It's up for Dutch, he says. Let's see if it's back up again on the Temple tops. Nope. Error 526. Hard cache reload. Nope. Cloudflare always online. Invalid SSL certificate. Host error. No. Something is very, very wrong. So it's up for Dutch for whatever reason. Wonky Zorg, if you wouldn't mind to check on the site, can you reach on tabletop.com? Because I sure can't. Which is annoying. Oh, slipper. Now I get what you mean by a quasi rate slipper. It's a bit iffy. Yeah, or you're just lucky with your cached version of it. Who knows what happened there? A good thing that people have their own hobby blogs. Yeah, so sorry to cut that short, but that was a short playthrough. Does it even count as a playthrough? I don't think so. But I might bring a question to you and let the audience discuss. If I can bring in this, hold on a second. Can we go back to Hobby Duck? Do you see the difference? I guess you can. And more light. That's even better. So this is all the same grass. But at some points, like this here, and the upper part, I had a little less thinned down PVA sitting on top to fix everything. I've never had watered down PVA make static grass go this dark. Have you ever had this effect on your static grass with PVA glue? I for sure did not. And also I feel like this side needs some more grass because I can still see the ground. And the other side looks a bit more lush, I feel. And this thing is heavy. These walls are massive. The outer walls are not massive, but the inner walls are made by made of a plaster compound. So this is really heavy. Wonky Goblin doesn't use static grass. Okay. It was a shot in the dark. Now to do that off again. Go back here. And I regret that I turned off the fan. Good night, Dutch. Yeah, on Tobbly Taps, still not reacting to anything. That's a shame. Well, that's a bummer. You know what? You see this? This is I was donating blood today, so my head is a bit wheezy and woozy. No, Wonky. My guess is it's just the heat. People are flat. I'm not sure how temperatures are in your neck of the wood, but in most parts of Germany, the temperatures are silly, are very, very silly, and people are just laying flat on their sofas and couches and beds and try not to breathe too much. So yeah, and it's getting hot in here, and if I turn on the fan, we'll probably not hear anything but the fan. So we're going to cut this one very short today. Sorry. Could have gone better. You complain to the dice gods why they have had me go with the lowest stamina. No, the lowest, not stamina, but what was it? Skill. The lowest possible skill. Yeah, next time we will create a better character, I guess. I hope. Technically, it can't get worse. Not by much. So yeah, you stay safe, indoor, remain calm, and stay hydrated. I hope next week Jerry will be back, and oh, next week will be my first week of days of work, so I might think of things. Again, all four of you, thanks for being here. 5, 6, however, how many. Statistics will tell me later. I will not care. I hope you have a pleasant evening, and I will see you again next week. Bye bye.